Yo, yo, welcome to another episode of that deep, deep shit. Did the suspense kill you? Yeah, damn near got me too. Where we connect them dots. So on this episode, man, we gonna dive in. We're gonna cover a lot of shit. I'm not sure how long this is gonna be. I'm not even gonna try to make it short. But we're gonna jump in. Today's episode is gonna be about the 144,000 and old souls, for the most part. There's going to be a lot of other shit thrown in here, but for the most part, that's where we're going with it. All right. This is my little makeshift little board here. You know, I'm only doing what I could do with what I got. All right. So if you watch any of the other time videos, space dimension videos, a lot of these things are going to be familiar. But for those who haven't, let's give you a little quick crash course. All right, so we have this example of a construct. This axis being, we're going to call it X. The x-axis being time in a linear aspect. We're just simplifying time in a linear aspect. We'll call y, we'll call the y-axis dimensions, okay? Right? Time. Right? Can y'all see that? Okay. Right? And this could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. This could be 500 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years. As far as time is concerned, let's zoom in a little bit so y'all can get a good dose of that. All right. All right. So, we're also going to introduce the z-axis as space. And this also has its own measurement. Now, like we've said in the previous videos, that you live, you die. Or so we think. And the cycle just repeats. Right? And understanding that. So as the cycle is repeating, it shortens as it gets higher, aspect wise. Okay? Now, what happens is, yeah, I got this shit leaning on something, don't trip. What happens is that we have a very linear concept of time, not knowing that time, space, and dimensions curve. Right? It curves. So, what we fail to realize is, as being a soul incarnating at any point of time, right? Because you can incarnate at any point of time. Let me zoom in on this so y'all can see that. Let me zoom in on that. Alright. You can incarnate at any point of time. So, let me draw this a little clearer for you. Right? You can incarnate at any point of time. Any point. You can incarnate here, 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 5 years, 1,000 years, it doesn't matter, right? Any point of time. Now, what we don't really realize is souls incarnate that have been in the future before. They've been here before. Now they may be here or here, just depending on the point of reference, right? These souls are the souls that we call old souls. They've been in the future and in the past before. That's why they may come here, they may know all kind of things that they shouldn't know. Like they may be privy to old kinds of music, old television shows, just an old way of living. They may also understand concepts that are beyond what we presently know because they have seen future references or points in time. Alright? This is the explanation of old souls. So what I want you to try to do with this next theory or this next explanation of the subject matter is to imagine this construct, and we're going to flip it towards you to where it turns, to where now you're not looking at it from the side, you're looking at it from the top. So this spiral from the top will look something like this. So this from the top will look like this. This also reminds me of, right? This also reminds me of the Fibonacci spirals. Same concept. See that? You can't see that. Same concept. Reminds me of the Fibonacci spirals. Now, so you still have these points. They could be anywhere in the construct or perception of space-time. Alright? Now here is where we're going to get into a little bit of a different subject. We're going to get into the subject of the 144,000. Alright? So, as we can see these points on a curve, right? They're a curve because this is a spiral. But the closer you get to this point, the point is really flat because it's a point. It's a perception. It is a, what they talk about in wave theory or waveforms, once an object is observed, it becomes so. So these points are observations. To whom you may ask? Higher gods. For example, if we are a creator God and we're looking down at this spiral, right? If this is time, this could be however many years. This little point itself can be 100,000 years, right? It could be 100,000 years, but to our aspect, it's very small. So it's nothing. This goes into the Hindu and the Veda description of Brahma's breath, or when they say that Brahma, for every 100,000 years is one day for Brahma, or something like that. I might be misquoting that, but it's something to that effect. That's because when you're in a different dimension or aspect, these concepts or perceptions are different. So let's just say we're here and these are this small. The closer we get to these dots, the bigger they get. You can't, because it's washing out. But like, say if I was looking at this dot hella close like this, I'm looking at this dot hella close. This dot is hella big, and the perception of the years may be greater. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm standing back, this is only what, I don't know, 2 days to me. But if I'm up here like this, it's 2,000 years. So it's a different perception of looking at time-space constructs. Now, let's talk about time. This small dot, like this, right? That's a small dot. We're just amplifying this dot. Could be 100,000 years. Right? 100,000 years. Right? If we're looking at it up close. Or if we're looking at it from far away. But when we look at it up close, this can be shorter. So we'll say we can look at it and it's like 1,000 years. Circling the dot. Right? Make that dot chunky. Alright? So, it's all the same. It's all depending on the perception. It doesn't matter. But let's just take this line that seems flat. If you're looking at it up close, it seems flat even though it's on a curve. And this kind of explains all you sick, psychotic flat earth theorists. It's okay. I mean, we've all been misled with shit. I have too, you know. But this is when you get planes. This is a plane. A plane is a perception. A plane of existence. This is a plane. There's different planes of existence. Plane. This is why they call Earth and Jupiter and shit like that, they call it plan or planettes. They're smaller examples of a bigger thing. A planeette, right? Now, when you take this straight line of this plane, let's draw it down here. You take this straight line of this plane here, right? Let's map out 12 months. 1 through 12 months. Alright? We'll map out this as being time, a year. Okay? Now, this is where the 144,000 come in. Now, mind you, I do recognize different aspects of a year. There may be 12 solar months in a year, or you can even count the 13 lunar, meaning moon, lunar baktuns or months. So there's 13 months depending on what aspect you want to look at. But as far as this aspect is concerned, we're going to deal with the 12 month perception to explain the 144,000. Now, it's believed by many different religious sects that the 144,000 are God's chosen people, the people that will enter the gates of heaven. What else do they believe? The Israelites believe that they're the chosen people, or no, the Israelites believe that they're the 12,000 people in each 12 tribe of Israel. The Jehovah's Witnesses believe that they're the chosen ones or whatever. Okay, so look, let's think about it. How how asinine is that? Because if it's only 144,000 people that's chosen to enter the kingdom of God, then what happens to the rest of the people? What happens to them? They're fodder. They're nothing. They're plastic Tupperware. What? I mean, they're invited to the party, but they can't drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, I don't understand. So it made me kind of ponder on the subject, and I've been pondering on the subject for almost like 2 years now, and I've been revealed some things. The 144,000 isn't a collective group of people that will enter the kingdom of God during the whole existence of the planet, 100,000 years or whatever you say, right? In all actuality, it's all the graduates that graduate and move on to the next level during the perception of time that we call a year. So just like how you have 12 months, right? 12 months, right? It's awfully funny that this 144,000 number can be divisible by 12. It's awfully funny how 12 is a reoccurring number that we keep seeing in religious texts. And that this number is divisible by 12 just further lets you know that it's a lot of mathematics and science that's involved with what we're talking about here. Now, I've been revealed that, okay, they say that it's 56 million people that die around the world every year. 56 million. I believe that every month, roughly estimating, let's see, and what's 56 divided by 12? I don't know. I'm not finna, oh, wow. That's crazy. 56 divided by 12. Sorry, my mathematics isn't all the way. Yada I mean. Let's see here. I know it's divisible by 12. Let me divide it right now. 56 divided by 12. Huh, okay. So, it's 4.66666, whatever, right? So, 56 million people die around the year every day. Now, if 56 million people die around the world every year, I meant to say every year, I've been led to come to the conclusion that each month, 12,000 of those people are people that have completed their life's mission, their experience here, their sojourn, the journey that their soul was on has been completed in that month. So their soul may have been here so many times before that in this particular existence it has completed. Like I said before in previous videos, this will explain why there's so many uncalled for deaths, shootings, murders, babies, all these innocent people that may be called, because it's their time and we don't understand. There's actually a particular reason why this happens. Now, it makes sense because you gotta stop looking at things in this. The only way to understand this is not to look at it from a human, normal perspective. You have to look at it from a designer, creator perspective, because we are now looking into the thought process of a grand creation scheme. When you're dealing with mathematics and principles, this is how these things are laid out. There has to be some type of architecture to a building, correct? There has to be some type of blueprint to a building, correct? Right here is what you're looking at. You're looking at the blueprint to creation. All right? So when people have completed their sojourn, they graduate to another dimension, another level, or totally out of the process in its entirety. Every month, I believe this happens, and it's awfully funny that you can correlate. If you dig deep enough, you can correlate each 12th tribe of of Israel, to a constellation, to a astrological constellation. There's 12 constellations. There's 12 tribes of Judah. 12 is a number that can be divided into 144. There's supposed to be 12,000 people from each tribe that are chosen. But it's not chosen through the whole duration of 100,000 years. All right? Same planet, same point of reference can be looked at from 100,000 to 1,000, right? It's every cycle, every day, every year. There's the chosen people that are graduating. Just like if you're in high school, right? You in high school, you've been kicking it with these motherfuckers for 4 years, but every year, right? Motherfuckers get up out of there, right? Same thing with every month during the year when it comes to the 144,000. Now, when you're dealing with bringing into the aspect of the 13-month cycle, then you start getting into this Christ consciousness aspect of counting time, all right? Or understanding what happens. So in the 13th month, this is when you have a pouring of information and light to the planet. This is going back to the Christ consciousness aspect of things. Now, think about this. If 12 is a reoccurring number that has so much mathematical influence over religion, right? Why do they keep this from you? Why do they not want you to understand this? It may not be quick, but we're going to try to get through it as fast as possible. Okay? So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about time. We're going to talk about time travel. Time travel in it. What? About spirit, soul. My camera died in the middle of me breaking down some real deep shit. So that means I'm gonna have to remember what I said yesterday, because I didn't know. But you know what they say, everything happens for a reason. Alright, so what happened, or what I explained that didn't get caught on camera, because I was just about to get into why why are the powers that be keeping all of this encoded information about the construct or the fabric of how the architecture of time works. Why are they hiding it? Because as long as we do not understand how as long as we don't understand which direction is up, what direction is down, what direction is east, what direction is west, because we don't understand this. As long as we don't know what time that we are in prospectively, as long as we don't know where we at as far as on this planet, as far as in the universe as an entirety, we will always be lost, and lost people are always susceptible for control. So let me go ahead and explain this part of the diagram that got cut off yesterday. All right, I'm just going to flip my little poster board over, right, and start off from scratch. All right, so what I had written down was the 12 months, quote unquote 12 months, because we all know that you can have a 13 lunar calendar, but we're going to work with the 12, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, just so you can get a good visual and concept of what we working with. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry for the blurry shit, y'all. Oh, and it still didn't zoom in. That's all right. We're gonna work with it though. All right, we're gonna work with it. We're gonna zoom in. We're gonna zoom in, get it correct. All right. So it's funny because they'll say, you know, these are your 12 months. But if we look at how to pronounce these months, which would be January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December, all right? That's not accurate as far as phonically speaking, all right? Let's just start with October, the 10th month. What does the prefix of October mean? Oct means 8. Okay, let's work backwards. Let's go to before October, right? You have September. Sept, okay, means 7. Sep means 7, all right? So, why do you have the 9th month being pronounced as 7, but it's the 9th month? And then you have the 10th month, which is being pronounced as 8, but it's the 10th month. There's the code right there that needs to be broken, that we need to see exactly what time are we dealing with here. So if this is really October, and that's the 10th month, that really means that that's the 8th month, right? That's really 8. This is really 7. This is really 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. January, February, March. March is truly the beginning of what you will want to quote unquote call your solar 12-month perspective. Let's not call it a year. Let's call it a perspective of time. All right. So if that's the first, and it makes sense because March is what, spring, right? When things start to spring forward, when life starts to become possible on Earth, when the plants start to bloom and all that is around March. You know what I'm saying? Springtime. All right. Now let's go ahead and continue. So if October is really 8, that means that November, Nev, that's really 9. That makes sense. December, Dec, if you're looking about, I don't know if it's Greek or Latin, DEC means 10. So that means December is really 10. January is really 11. And February is really 12. That makes sense. That makes sense. See? You see? That makes sense. January. That makes sense. So as long as you're not aware of the proper time, you'll never be aware to properly align yourself, because we are all in connection with everything. So if everything else is on a time schedule that's natural and you are not, you will always be out of alignment with nature. And as long as you're out of alignment with nature, you will be sick. You will be famished in some aspects. You know what I'm saying? You may think that you're perfectly fine, but you will be under it will be easily to be controlled. And we all are easily controlled because we don't know where the fuck we at and we don't know what the fuck time it is. Period. Alright? Alright. So that's what I missed out on yesterday's video that you guys didn't get to see. So I had to add it. And because I think this is very important. As you can tell, that a lot of my deep videos do revolve around the concept and the constructs of time. I think that it's very important to understand these concepts, because the more that you're more aware of what time is, I think the more that you'll be aware of who you are, and that's the whole point of all of this. So if you're asking yourself, well, what difference does it make? Well, how is it gonna save my life? How is it gonna make me a better person? If you don't know where the fuck you at, how you gonna be a better anything? A better garbage man, a better DJ, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You don't even know where you at. And time is gonna help you understand that. So with that being said, I'm out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below whether you like or dislike, want to argue with me about asinine shit, or your own opinions. Please leave them below. Any ideas of videos that you want me to do, leave them in the comments, and I will eventually get around to them, and I'll try to do it in a more efficient, expedient way. All right? All right. Peace.